Well, Mark, we had 12 points in 12 days in the festive period, possibly unprecedented in Reading's history, such a haul in such a short space of time. Going into the Forest game, though, we've had a bit of time away from that first team league involvement. I'm sure you're benefiting from a better rest.
Yeah, it's, I was talking to someone just now who was asking, do you put any stipulations, any guidelines for the players to get a certain amount of points in a certain amount of any targets, let's say, and I've never really done that, but I must admit that coming out to the back of the Fulham game, because it had been the same team for 4 games, it was nice to almost like draw a line under it and have a look exactly where we are. And I keep repeating that I think we've got ourselves in a situation no more. Listen, we've done very, very well, but we've got to draw a line under it, because we've done no more than give ourselves a chance, let's say, of being maybe in the race for a promotion or a playoff spot. But again, when I say maybe in the race, because there will be a race between probably 10 clubs, I don't know, but that can quickly fall flat in your face if we don't do the right things in the next few games coming up.
And in particular as well, that momentum, in a way, by having those changes against Blackpool, it means that you can continue that momentum, because it's that squad that we were playing in those 4 games will be hopefully nice and fresh and come back into it with fresh eyes.
Yeah, Rich, I did honestly make a conscious decision almost before the Fulham game, thinking, well, okay, with the same group of players, if we got a decent result there, then those players needed a rest, not just physically but mentally as well, because I was putting big demands on them through that period. So coming out to the Fulham game, it was a strange situation, because those guys, I give them a few days off, and then the players that you're left with, who are important players, some experienced, some younger players, but if you're not careful, they can look and think, well, it's sort of them and us, and that was sort of, communication had to be right with that group of players. So, but they were really professional in approaching the Blackpool game, and now we've been in this week, and everybody together focused on Nottingham Forest first of all, and people have asked me about the Blackpool game. Yeah, I've got to have one eye on it, if you like, in terms of preparing what squad or thinking what squad might be available, but I'll start really concentrating at 5 o'clock on Saturday, because it's got to be all hands on deck and real focus on Nottingham Forest on Saturday.
Yeah. And they're the only club we haven't faced so far this season due to that rain up at the City ground. So what kind of test are you expecting from what you've seen of them?
I think obviously they've been right up there right from the start, so that proves to me they're a talented bunch, and looking at the videos of them, they've got a lot of ammunition that can hurt us, certainly. The interesting thing, I looked at in terms of their performances away from home, I think they're the second worst in the table in terms of ball possession. So maybe that flags up that they come here and play a little bit cagey. They play maybe more of a counter-attacking game against us, and again it adds another problem to us, because certainly the last couple of games, Fulham especially, we played teams who come at us and it suited us. So different problems, and we will work on the training ground and give us the best chance to compete against that.
And a team that, like us, have won 3 in a row now in the league, and we're on 4. So it's 2 teams in good form meeting as well.
Yeah, it is. And as I say, I think they've had a couple of, looking back at the season so far, they've had a couple of little spells where they've lost 2 or 3 games, but then they've bounced back again, and they've got, as I say, they've got the likes of Lewis Graben, I think the Reading fans will know as well, who knows this league very well. He's a clever striker. He's one that we've got to really be concentrating, because his movement's good. And just all around the park, make sure we get back to what we've been doing, obviously, before this short break, as I call it,
One thing as well, you and Raphael both had the nominations for Manager and Player of the Month this month, and I guess as a manager you kind of looked at what the team have achieved in some senses, and it's nice to get that recognition, albeit the 3 points on Saturday could be even more important.
Yeah, listen, it's nice to get the recognition for myself, for my staff, for the team, because you don't get it unless the team are doing well, but I think it's just nice for the club. End of. It's not a personal thing. It's nice, and whatever happens, whether you win it or not, it means nothing to me personally. It's just that it shows that the lads are putting effort in, getting games right, getting our game plans right, and picking up points, and that's all it is. Because listen, I'm the least of people to get ahead of myself in that way, and the team as well. You get pats in the back, which we've had, and they're enjoyable, but those pats can quickly turn to slaps if you don't get the results on the Saturday.
Absolutely. Lastly, Mark, of course, got to think about team news as well. Had a couple of long-term sort of injuries, if you like. People have been missing for a few weeks. Andy Idam and George Pushkas in particular. How are they getting on?
Andy Idam's been in a leg brace because of his knee, and they were worried that the ligament was loose or something. Now, listen, I'm not a medical person, but all I do know is that he's come out of the brace now, and they are happy with it, which is fantastic for us. And he'll be training on the grass next week, albeit lightly. He won't be with the group, but he's certainly getting closer to getting back than he was obviously beforehand. As regards George Puskas, George is, obviously he had the situation with his shoulder. What I've been told is not too much unlike Liam Moores when Liam's been playing, where it's uncomfortable and he might fall badly on it, and he's got to grit his teeth and go through maybe a few minutes pain, and take injections in now and again, and it shows his character. And George has got the same sort of thing now. It's how he responds to the bouts of pain and the uncomfortableness he gets with it. But he's certainly in the frame for selection for Saturday.
Well, best of luck on Saturday. Thank you very much.